Welcome back, folks. My name is LastKnownMeal, and today we're going to be talking about Cyberpunk Edgerunners. But in this video, I'm going to focus around one thing specifically, and that is how do you make an adaptation that simply works while respecting the source material? Because in this day and age that we live in, it seems that making an adaptation can be incredibly problematic because of one thing which I noticed so far. Every single producer, every single director right now, or well 90% of them, they think they can do a better job than the original creator or the original writer. They really do think that their script is going to be better than the original material because they think that this original material is simply not good enough, without forgetting in the first place why are they making that show or a film in the first place. And that is because of the interest that people have. And why do people have that interest? Because of the original source material. Simple as that. So now a perfect example of an adaptation done well is Cyberpunk Edgerunners, where the creators of that show, both from CD Projekt Red and Trigger, they took the source material that Mike Pondsmith and Adaptation Games wrote all those years ago, and they took it very seriously. They looked at the core foundations of this world, everything which revolves around it, both from a social perspective, or going from cyberware, then going to people who live there, then going to the outline and the outlay of the city itself. How is it going to be in 2077 and so on? They took all of that inspiration and they stick with it, and they made 2077 the video game, which is heavily close to the original source material, respecting everything which was written before. So now you adapt all of that into an anime, where first off, you do a 100% carbon copy of Night City from 2077 and you make it the same in anime. This does two things. First off, as I said, it respects the source material from CD Projekt Red and Adaptation Games, and second of all, it gives you a totally new perspective of the anime and the world and the characters themselves, because you can watch the anime right now, look at 99% of locations from that anime and actually visit that in 2077. You can walk on the same locations where the characters from the anime walked. That's honestly insane. And that's only one aspect of the show. The second aspect and the third aspect of the show would be that every single thing in this universe, from, as I said, cyberware, cyberpsychosis, characters, fixers, anything that you've seen in this anime is exactly how it's supposed to be and how it was originally imagined. And even though you have this pre-existing world, and you have new characters which are basically original characters that you wrote, they fit into this world because you respect everything, the premise of this world, so it's not going to be a problem to include new characters. The problem today of producers and directors and writers, they include characters which simply do not fit because they do not respect the source material. And when you start implementing stories or characters which simply do not fit, you're not going to get something good. And there is also one specific thing which I noticed when it comes to huge Hollywood production houses and their way of thinking about making movies around video games or anything similar to it, is that they forget one thing, and that's characters and character development. Trust me, I've been around people because I worked on film festivals for a long amount of time. I've been around people who are from Hollywood, who are not from Hollywood, and I've listened to how they speak and think around certain things. Some of them actually do believe they can do a better job than the original writer. Yes, I'm not kidding. Some of them actually believe they can do a better job, and that usually fails. And one thing they always talk about is action, action, action. We must have action. People want action. Yeah, people want action from a video game movie which has action, but at the same time, like every single good movie has, you need to have character development, character relations, and character depth. When you have that, when you have those small moments with characters where you identify with the characters, where those characters speak more about themselves, where you have this depth combined with action, you immerse yourself with those characters, so automatically you care more about them. And because you care more about those characters and how, especially if they're written well, where they have their own perks and their weaknesses, you care more about the story. And the moment you care about the story, the entire picture just falls into place and you have a good adaptation in general. Because keep one thing in mind, if I never talked about Cyberpunk, if I never had this channel, if I knew nothing about this universe and I watched this anime, I would 100% jump into the game as well. Because I've seen that, you know, I had my friends who have never played Cyberpunk, they watch the anime itself because they like anime, so they jump into the game. And the first thing my friend texted me when he got into the game, hey man, all of these things are very familiar, you know, you have this call sound which is the same like from anime, hacking or breach is going to be same like from anime. Oh man, I recognize some of these locations in the city. That made me happy because he identified himself with the anime and he identified all of those characters and the universe in the game itself. And that's what matters, because that's when you know you did this adaptation right, because people going from anime into a video game, it's not going to be a shock in style or whatever, it's all going to work together. And you can put David Martinez on all of the characters from the anime into 2077 and they will fit, because they were written and they were animated and done perfectly with how originally Cyberpunk 2020 and Cyberpunk Red and all of that is supposed to be. And look, obviously it was adapted a little bit to kind of be over the top when it comes to anime style in general, but even that style fits because that's just Cyberpunk, that's punk in general. And that's what matters. Small moments between the characters, where you get to know them, where you see the depth of those characters, where they're not just one-dimensional beings who just do action and that's it. We want action in our video game movie and we don't want anything else. And then they wonder why it fails. And they wonder why it fails. Well, it fails because you, number one, think you're going to do a better job than the original writer, and second of all, you just simply do not respect the source material and you're going to fail. Because trust me, if this anime wasn't this good, you wouldn't have this many people go back into the game. You wouldn't have the situation right now with Cyberpunk that you do have almost 100,000 players, you wouldn't have it. And trust me, if I, as difficult as I am with what sort of anime do I watch, if I tell you this is good, this is good. Because I'm very, very difficult when it comes to what sort of anime I like, what sort of style I like, and what sort of kind of stories I like in an anime in general, and this is definitely one of those. And especially not just because it's Cyberpunk. Look, The Witcher had an anime with Vesemir. It was okay for me, but it wasn't as good as this one. Not at all. And I simply said it. So it's not really about if I'm covering the content or not. It just has to do with the quality of the show. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this is going to be an eye-opener to all of the producers and directors who want to make films or animes or whatever in a universe or from universes which are originally from video games or tabletop RPGs or whatever. Respect the source material, respect the characters, give character depth, and then build on top of that, and it's all going to be fine. Don't try to do anything else, pretty much. So thank you for watching. This is LKM signing out. Tomorrow I will go back to Cyberpunk 2077. I have a bigger video on that, so we're gonna be talking about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you also so much for all of the recent support I've been getting on this channel. It's amazing. I'm speechless. So I'm gonna work hard to bring you more videos and also more quality videos. But if you enjoyed this video, smash that like and subscribe button, and check us out on Twitter and Discord because I also post there a lot. And also huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. If you wanted an extra way to support the channel, I do have a Patreon page. And that's it. This is LKM signing out. Stay classy everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.